Schools teach science because science is how we learn about the natural world by testing ideas against evidence. A child may ask why the sky is blue, why bread rises, why people get sick, or why a phone can send a message across a room. These questions can be answered in many ways. Someone might guess. Someone might repeat an old belief. Someone might say, "That is just how it is." Science begins when we go further and ask, how can we find out? The power of science is not that scientists are always right. They are human, and humans make mistakes. The power is the method. Scientific ideas must face observation, measurement, experiment, and review by other people. If an idea fails again and again, it has to be changed or rejected. This makes science one of the best tools we have for separating what seems true from what is supported by evidence. Schools teach science so students can understand the world around them. Biology explains cells, ecosystems, disease, inheritance, and the human body. Chemistry explains matter, reactions, medicines, fuels, and food. Physics explains motion, light, sound, electricity, and energy. Earth and space science explain weather, rocks, oceans, climate, planets, and stars. These subjects help students see that everyday life is full of hidden processes. Science also matters because modern society depends on it. Vaccines, antibiotics, clean water systems, weather forecasts, electricity, bridges, satellites, farming methods, and medical scans all come from scientific knowledge joined with engineering. When students learn science, they are learning the ideas behind many things that keep communities alive and functioning. Another reason schools teach science is that citizens must make decisions about scientific issues. People vote, spend money, raise children, choose treatments, use technology, and respond to public problems. Climate change, nutrition, pollution, energy, pandemics, and artificial intelligence all involve evidence. A person does not need to be a professional scientist to take part in these decisions, but they do need enough understanding to ask good questions. Science class also teaches a special kind of humility. In science, it is acceptable to say, "I do not know yet." In fact, that is often the beginning of discovery. Students learn that uncertainty is not the same as ignorance. Sometimes evidence is strong. Sometimes it is incomplete. Sometimes a better measurement changes the explanation. This helps students think more carefully about claims. Schools teach experiments because experiments show how knowledge is built. If a plant grows better in one condition than another, students can test possible reasons. If a magnet attracts some objects but not others, they can look for patterns. The goal is not just to memorize facts. The goal is to practice observing, predicting, measuring, and revising ideas. Science also shows that small things can have large effects. Germs too small to see can cause disease. Tiny changes in DNA can affect a body. Invisible gases can trap heat in the atmosphere. Electric charges moving through circuits can power cities. Science stretches the imagination by revealing parts of reality that our senses alone cannot detect. At the same time, science has limits. It can tell us what is likely to happen if we burn fossil fuels, but it cannot by itself decide what is fair. It can test whether a medicine works, but societies must still decide how to provide care. Schools teach science not as the only kind of knowledge, but as a powerful way to answer questions about nature. So schools teach science because students need to understand evidence, technology, health, and the planet they live on. Science turns curiosity into disciplined investigation. It teaches us that the world is not just mysterious. It is also knowable if we are patient enough to look closely and honest enough to change our minds.